Speaking about a game, actually, the game have recently announced that they can't secure enough Nintendo Switch stock due to financial issues.
No, it's that they're blaming their financial issues on the lack of Nintendo Switch.
They're going, I worked at games when the Mass Effect scandal and all this happened. So basically, when there used to be Game and Game Station, how it came back that Game Station disappeared was because the Christmas period, Game got fucked by Tesco and Asda in sales.
Still do.
They're British supermarkets.
Yeah. Walmart.
Basically, the GameStop of...
They're cheaper, actually.
Basically, supermarkets beat us in sales so hard. They lost so much money, they couldn't afford to pay EA to sell Mass Effect. All this shit was a big knock-on effect. And so, Game chose to close down all the game...
bankruptcy,
Well, they chose to... The idea with Game is a very polished, neat shop. All the walls are white, the floors are white. It's a family shop. Game Station was all like black and
pre-owned stuff. It was a lot of it.
The Game Station was for like younger people.
Hip.
Yeah. So basically, they destroyed Game Station. That's not a thing anymore. To keep themselves afloat.
To be honest.
But now all this has happened. They've got no one to cut. So I don't think
they've got nowhere to go. So I remember back in the day, Game Station. So basically, the story was Mass Effect 3.
They couldn't afford
the way Game worked previously is that they had to buy a bulk amount of games from these publishers and then sell them on. But Game couldn't afford to buy Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
One of the biggest games.
One of the biggest games of the release that year.
Yeah.
So they couldn't afford to buy them, and at a point after they couldn't buy it, then obviously these major supermarkets, Tesco and Asda, which is Walmart in America.
No, this happened before that.
Oh, was it?
I'm sure it was before that because they lost all the money. This was the initial problem. They lost the money over the Christmas period and then they couldn't make it back. And then obviously they couldn't sell one of the biggest releases of the year.
One good thing that came out of that was they had a fucking massive sale phase.
The games that I picked up at that point was ridiculous, the stuff you could buy. But like we say, they've got nothing to fall back on now. And with Amazon and CX and all these like
everyone's
supermarkets,
undercutting them, and I don't think physical media shops, games, just purely games.
You would get video game shops are going to exist.
I mean,
And to be honest, it's a sad thing because I used to when I was a kid going into a game shop and then I'm buying a game, I'm buying maybe a controller or something. That was an experience. I used to like that. I used to be in there and used to meet people that had a common value with you. But that's not really a thing anymore. You go into a game store and all
add-ons.
Exactly. You go into a game store now. It's very similar to GameStop, which you'll have in America right now. It's just sell, and I don't want to know anything else. And that's because the culture I've been forced into. But it's a very sad culture now. I can see that going away very soon.
Yeah. Digital games. Xbox One, when they first came out, they were like all digital games. Everyone complained, but that's the way it's going to go.
I mean, it's already been like that on PC for like 5 years now, even more than that. Basically, since Steam came out, basically, physical PC sales just died.
Yeah, our Lord and Savior game.
Console games these days, physical media takes up such a massive chunk. Digital media takes up such a massive chunk of digital game sales. It's just nobody's going to stores anymore.
And it's got the games don't just run off the disc anymore; they have to be installed still.
Yeah,
so.
you get home, put the disc in, thinking, the game will run day one patch. That's fucking massive.
And the game itself,
putting on your internet connection 3 hours later,
and the game itself is big enough to take half an hour to install off the disc in the first place.
Exactly. At that point, you might as well have installed the game. It just gets ridiculous. Basically, all the consoles these days are turning into PC gaming.
I don't know.
You have to download the game.
I don't know why there isn't a system on PlayStation where you go on the store and you pre-install the game and it's locked like PC, and then when you put the disc in, it just unlocks.
Well, that should be a thing.
Yeah, why is that not a thing?
That would be a very, very good idea.
That's a thing for digital games.
That's what I'm saying. Look, you can do it on PC, but literally, how hard is it to put that on a PlayStation or an Xbox? It wouldn't be hard at all.
It's not. They just won't do it.
But it would just save time. It would just save time. You get a game, you instantly play it.
I do like having a box though.
Me too. I prefer to have the actual game.
Like I bought 2 games today. I bought Crash Bandicoot Remaster and Micro Machines. Like they're old games. Like, I need to have these.
Micro Machines is a sequel. It's basically all of Micro Machines put together, isn't it? All at all. But I do feel like having a physical box game in front of me will make me want to play that game more. Than just having like a code line.
I suppose it reminds you that you've got the game there. I mean, like
Exactly.
I know that I've got games that I bought and then I forgot they existed because they've gone off my front page of my PlayStation.
Yeah. That's why
I've got so many other games.
You know the thing that you can change where you can have like only show a certain amount of games. I put it on all games just so I know they're there. But then you have to scroll out for so long.
Exactly.
I like having as well, like on my shelf. So like, big Resi fan, as you already know. I like having all my Resis across, like every single one that I've got.
All the Resi 4s, which takes up the whole shelf.
Resi 4s. Do you know the worst thing about Resi 4? I was in CX today. I've got Resi 4 on PlayStation 4 along with every other console I own, and I've got it digitally on my PlayStation 4. I went to CX and the box is on the shelf, and I'm like, I didn't know it would come in a box. I need the box. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need to get that. Just so it can go with all the rest of them.
It's just
it's like nice to see it when you've got the whole collection, like you and your little Halo collection.
Like if you like collecting games, like physical media is best for that. Because digitally you can't really show it off. That's the point of collecting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a future for gaming. Which is
I don't think that's a thing anymore. No, I think everything's going to be over the internet.
Yeah.
You're going to get the game, you're going to download it, and it'll be a game. I think these physical stores are really going to go away. Just because of the overhead. So you think about the overhead of making a game, you have to pay for the box, you have to pay for the art, you have to pay for the physical disc and the printing of that disc.
For the Switch, you have to pay extra for the fucking little...
You have to pay the Nintendo tax. You need
so
that Nintendo tax. But when it's a digital game, there's none of that involved.
But you still charge the same price.
Yeah, I was going to say, but you'll still pay.
They do currently because they have to appease to the physical brick and mortar stores, like your Game, your Tesco, your Asda, and to an extent, like at Amazon and things like that, where they have to get the physical disc and send it to you. But give it 10 years, I guarantee that won't be a thing.
Because that's why I want PlayStation or whatever. Like they're more expensive than they are in the shops because
they can't. They're not physically allowed to undercut these physical stores. These physical stores won't sell the game.
They've got the deals with the PlayStation and whatever.
I think it sucks though because unless they do put something into place like the Xbox thing with sharing the codes and whatever, you can't share games with people.
Yeah.
Like me and Jake.
But they have a system for that.
Me and Jake, who used to be in broke ass bitches.
You share our Steam
We
games.
will share our games non-stop because we can't. Like growing up, we couldn't afford to buy them, and it's like. You know, you got to think from that side of it.
I think video games are going very ways. It's going the video game audience is maturing with the platform.
Yeah.
And I do think the next platform, PlayStation 5, Xbox 2, whatever you call it,
Xbox 2,
literally the
Xbox XX X2X.
maybe.
It's bad when it gets to Xbox Triple X.
That could happen. I don't think that the main platform for them are going to be physical media as they are right now. I think it is going to be digital.
Yeah.
But if you look back at E3 when the Xbox One was announced, and they were talking about the way that was going to work, the original time that the Xbox One was announced, I think that is going to be the future of games.
Yeah.
Very similar ways that PC gaming audience has been working for a very long time, to be honest. Just because the audience that play video games have been maturing with the gaming audience. Let's look at Naughty Dog, for example. So originally, what did they make? They made Crash Bandicoot.
Woo.
And they moved from that. They made things like Jak and Daxter. They made things like Uncharted, and then they made things like Last of Us. And you can tell throughout the years they've matured with the gaming audience, and I really think that audience has matured with the platform easily. And then and as you get older, you have more money at the end of the day, and so they want to follow that platform.
Some people do.
Some people, yeah, exactly. But the people that are buying these games now are getting older and older. So I think that the target audience that they're going to be going for is going to be older and older that they're going to be aiming at. So things like the Crash Bandicoot remaster, they're not aiming at a younger audience.
Well, it's not actually brought out by Naughty Dog anymore, is it?
It's not Activision, but they're aiming at the audience that played the original games.
Yeah.
And the original games, that audience now is going to be 10 years older than they were previously.
They're hitting that nostalgia.
They're hitting that nostalgia point, but the gaming audience is getting older and older all the time, just because we're going up with the media.
Yeah.
So they're being able to charge more.
It's no longer seen as
things.
A kids thing.
It's not a kids thing, and I think you look in the past when film media originally came around, film was thought as a younger person's thing.
Yeah.
Very similar to TV. TV was thought of as a younger person's thing. But as it matured, it became an older person's thing, as things do throughout the years. Games going to go a very similar way. I imagine a new
medium. It's becoming more mainstream now.
Exactly. And I think that video game media is going to just reach a point where it's on par with things like films and video and books. TV. Just because also you got to figure into the account that video games cost so much more than a film. So a film maximum these days, a Blu-ray 1080p film will cost £15
£20.
Exactly. But a brand new video game is £40. So they're pulling in
sometimes even that's the recommended retail price.
They're pulling in so much money. They're pulling in so much money at that point that they can't. They're making money in these things for sure. So the audience is definitely maturing with that medium.
Mm-hmm. They could easily, if this is the way console's going to go, they could easily just sort of the way with Steam. So like, you give out a code to like 5 friends, and then they can play you. That would be fine.
Well, yeah, the Steam sharing game thing works.
But obviously,
I can't remember the last time I bought
it's not going to be like they're not going to be that liberal on a console. Microsoft are not going to go share your game with all your friends with no disc. No. They will kill you before they'll let you do that.
Now Microsoft would. Because they're for the gamer, but as soon as they start winning again, they wouldn't do it.
I think
that's the persona they're putting out. It would be
very limited, and you would have to sort of.
I do think that their market.
I think you'd only have a limited amount of people you can share it with.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you'd have to.
I think that's pretty the same with the Steam thing, right?
I don't know about Steam.
You can only share it with a limited amount of people.
You can only Steam. You can share. I think it's 5 or 10 people. You can share
5 or 10, but you can just do it.
A bit of a big gap. 5 or 10.
Also, you can only play this. You can only play the game if the person in question is not playing the game.
If the person who owns the game isn't playing any other game on their account at the time. So, like, it's only if, say, I was at work, Chris could play. My games, for example.
It'll be something like that, but I imagine it will have. So the reins would be so much tighter on a console if that was with how the way it's going.
The way Xbox was originally going, I don't think that's the way they wanted to go. So the way that they spoke about it was that they'd allow you to share your games with other friends. It's basically the exact same as what the Steam precedent was. But as soon as they played the game, as soon as it went online, basically they'd take that ability away from you. But that's no different from sharing a physical game. So basically, on the way it works in Steam at the moment is if you're playing a game and your friend comes online.
And
it basically gives you 5 minutes to save your game, and then after that, it gives you the option to purchase that game. Yeah. Now imagine the powerful effect that will have. Imagine you're playing not Mass Effect, but Witcher 3.
Yeah.
And then your friend comes online, they want to play a game, they say let's play a game, it kicks you out, and you're like, oh, you can play Mass Effect 3, but for £15
Even worse, imagine if you're playing a game which has very rare save points.
Exactly. You'll be mashing that button saying, yes, I want to play this game, you're this game. So you'll pay that money.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think that will probably actually bring more money into the industry.
Yeah.
The way that works. And I think that they know these people that the people that develop on PC platform, they know this. And I think it's only a game of catch up on consoles. Yeah. I think it will eventually be that way.
Or I mean, you see it a lot with trends that come across on PC. Like a few years down the line, console copy it basically.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's going to go. If you like that video and want to see more like it, then click this playlist button here. If you happen to want to subscribe to us and check out all our content, then click this amazing sexy button right here. Look how enticing it is. You know you want to click it. And if you're already subscribed to us, well then you are already an awesome human being.